In question 15, we've got a table here that shows the total number of tries scored in 25 games of rugby. Now, this is a classic example of a question that gives you more information than you really need. You don't really need this cumulative frequency column to be able to answer any of these questions. Perhaps it's handy and you certainly can use it, but it's not essential. So the first thing I would do with this question is just put it into your head what it really means. It's like we've come up to this rugby team and we've said, hey, you guys, in the last 25 games, how many times have you got no tries at all? And they've gone, oh, that happened to us 3 times. 5 times they've scored only 1 try in a game. 8 times they've got 2 tries. So that's something that happens to them quite a lot. 3 times they got 3, once they got 4, once they got 5, and 4 times, these was 4 good games, they actually scored 6 tries. So when it says here state the range, we're not looking at these numbers or these numbers. We're talking about the range of things that happened. And the things that happened is the number of tries that they scored. How many times it happened has nothing to do with range at all. So the range is the highest score minus the lowest score. And here the score is 6 minus 0. So we literally say it's 6. It's almost like we've said, how many tries do you guys usually score in a game? And they've said, oh, it varies. And we've said, well, how much does it vary? How much it varies is the range. Now, find the median number of tries scored. Well, if we lined all these answers up, let's imagine that we had 0 3 times, 1, 2, 3 times. 1, that happened 5 times. This is what it would look like. 2, that happened 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I could keep on going with the 3s and the 4s and the 5s. If we're finding the median number, we're counting in from the ends on those 25 different games to see what the middle game would be. So if you've got 25 scores, the quick, easy way of getting to the middle score is just to add 1 to 25 and then divide by 2. And that is the score you want. Now, 26 divided by 2 is 13. We don't want 13. That's not the median number of tries scored. But the 13th score is the one that we want. Now, here you could use your cumulative frequency column and say, well, by the time we've got up to going through all of the 2s, we're up to the 16th score. So obviously the 13th score is going to be somewhere in there. You could also say, well, that's 3 scores, 5, that's 8 so far. So the 13th score is going to be in this category. So the answer is going to be 2. And obviously that's a lot quicker than writing out all the scores as I was starting to do. You could do it that way, but it would just take you a long time to then count in from the ends. Find the mean number of tries scored. Well, the key thing here is to actually ask yourself, well, how many tries did these guys score in all of the 25 games added together? Because your formula for mean says we need to take the sum of all of the scores multiplied by the frequency that they happened and divide by n. Now, if you're using the formula, you can go ahead and do this and say, right, I've got to multiply each score by the frequency. So I've got 0 times 3, and I've got 1 times 5, and 2 times 8, and then I've got to add all of those together and divide by 25. It'll work. But if you're just using logical reasoning, or if you've forgotten the formula altogether, you can just say, how many tries have we got here? Total. Well, in these 3 games, they didn't score anything. In those 5 games, they only got 1. So that's 5 tries. So we've got 5 tries plus 16 tries plus 9 plus that one time that they got 4, one time they got 5, and 4 times they got 6. That was 24 tries in those 4 games. Divide that whole thing by 25, and that gives you your answer of, what did we get? 2 and 23 25ths. Or you could write your answer as 2.92.